Have you any lunar coins to...
Can I help you?
Yes? How may I be of service?
Why, a celebration of the New Year, of course. In the East, we welcome the first new moon of the year with a week-long feast, a tradition we would share. Very good. Then you should speak to Daishi. He will dutifully regale you with the details.
I'm listening. Require. Your friend is well, I hope.
Told you I'm a genius. Valindra escaped with Azazel. Perhaps it's time to visit my academic colleagues in Waterdeep. I suppose you could consider the bright side. Now that Valindra controls an army of gnolls and undead and a blue dragon, it's highly unlikely she will simply go away and leave Neverwinter in peace. I'm sure you'll get another chance to set things right. In the meantime, I must make travel arrangements.
Stop what is happening in Craftsman's Rest. Valindra's undead and the Cult of the Dragon are no longer a threat here in Neverdeath. We have you to thank. Valindra escaping with the right of the Dracolich, however, is certainly this harsh working conditions. We're sure to see her again, though it may take us some time yet to gather the necessary components. We'll be able to keep Neverdeath under control for now. I'm sure Nox will want to hear all about today's events.
Esteemed adventurer, I hope this letter finds you well. You have accomplished great deeds in the service of the people on many occasions. Your experience and skills are required once again. Please report to the Moonstone Mask at your earliest opportunity. I will give no details in this letter, but the situation is dire. The fate of Faerun may well be at hand. Sincerely, Lord Neverember.
Protector's Enclave needs your help. Valindra escaped with a dragon, and something called the Rite of the Dracolich. That pretty much guarantees we haven't seen the last of her. But you did thwart the Thayan's plans in Neverden. That means we'll have a lot fewer undead threatening the city. Well done!
Elminster recently discovered a cell of cultist activity here in Protector's Enclave. He managed to flush them out. The situation is far more dire than we anticipated. The Cult of the Dragon has unearthed an ancient Netherese device in the Sword Mountains, something known as a Mythallar. Elminster believes this device will provide the cult with enough power to turn their mad prophecy into a reality. The factions of Faerun may not always see eye to eye, but we've seen what the cult is capable of. We've agreed to come together and mobilize under Elminster's charge. Join us in the Dragonbone Vale and speak with Elminster, adventurer. We're going to need all the help we can get. With the issues in Neverdeath put to rest, it is high time for you to enjoy the fruits of your efforts. I have arranged for you to speak with several individuals in the Adventurers Guild, who will help further acclimate you to life in Neverwood. First things first, tick these lockboxes as reward for your efforts.
Yes? Have you come to the Feast of Lanterns, a celebration of the New Year observed widely in what you call the Far East? Though the feast is the main event, fireworks displays and gift-giving are both common. We have brought both fireworks and traditional gift-giving envelopes. By chance, would you care to hand out some gifts? Gifts are generally given to younger family members, but in your case, perhaps fledgling adventurers? Regardless of the recipient, gifts should be given in red envelopes, such as these. I see you still have some envelopes to distribute. Return once you have given them all away.
I understand. You adventurers prefer action. I have a task for you, and a reward if you will see it done. I am in charge of the fireworks. The task of those fireworks won't carry themselves.
Why, a celebration of the New Year, of course. In the East, we welcome the first new moon of the year with a week-long feast, a tradition we would share.
Good to see you, my friend. Another familiar face come to join our efforts in the Dragonbone Vale, I see. I trust the journey wasn't too rough for you. My old friend Gyson Traxia was kind enough to lend me a ride through the worst of it. The terrain in this part of the Sword Mountains is utter treachery. It's no wonder we lost track of the cult, but that's neither here nor there. Let me know when you're settled in. We have a great deal of work ahead of us. Yes. Where were we? This encampment is the center of operations for our grand alliance between the factions of Faerun. Though we're calling it the Shield of the North. And believe me, it was quite a feat getting a lot of them to agree on anything, much less a name. But I digress. You'll find some familiar faces here. Zuna is overseeing the supply routes for the factions. Gyson Traxia is standing right here next to me, and Kuvatos is brooding somewhere, per usual. He's researching a troubling phenomenon. Dragonsight. A tad obsessed, if you ask me. Go on, take a look around, and let people know you're here to help. Now, what little we know of the Dragonbone Vale comes from Gyson Traxia. Ridges divide this region into 4 distinct neighborhoods. Etrian has taken the Emerald Enclave into the wooded area aptly named Whetstone Thicket. Sergeant Knox and the Lord's Alliance have set up camp amidst the crags and dwarven ruins of Quellwater Tarn. The Order of the Gauntlet can be found with Celeste in Wormbone Marrows, a rocky landscape carpeted with dragon remains. Beyond those neighborhoods lies a ruinous expanse, surrounded by an expanding wall of corruption, the Scaleblight Summit. That's where the cult is feeding energy to the Mythalar. While the Harpers and I plan our attack, you should locate each of these factions and make them aware of your presence.
A warm welcome to you, friend of Elminster. It is indeed I, Gyson Traxia, the dragon who assisted Elminster in his investigations of the Lunar. We are up against the cult, so I've assumed a more combat role. Hopefully it will reduce shock amongst newcomers who join us. My investment here is personal. The cult has been spreading corruption through the caverns that run beneath the Dragonbone Vale. I also have reason to believe they've done something to my mate, Halhaverathine. Please do let me know if you find details of my beloved's whereabouts. Halhaverathine, my beloved, what have the cultists done to you?
We must keep these supply lines moving. The Shield of the North is depending on us. Well met, adventurer. The Cult of the Dragon is using devices they call malignant conduits to spread corruption throughout the Dragonbone Vale. According to Elminster, this corruption is parasitic in nature. It chokes out ambient life and feeds energy back into the Mythalar. That's where you come in. I need adventurers like you to escort shipments to each of the faction outposts, and then assist the factions in fending off the corruption in their respective areas. When you're ready, I'll explain in finer detail. What can I do for you? Now that you're settled in, it's time to start running supplies. Deliveries are simple enough, but the trails are harrowing. I'll break down how it works. My team procures cleansing foci and divvies them up between the factions. From there, our supply runners load their carts and drive to their respective camps. After a short stop at their camps, they deliver the artifacts to the front lines. Your job is to locate any of the 3 supply runners, follow them along their delivery path, and then help them get to the front lines. The Shield of the North has 3 factions watching over the neighborhoods of the Dragonbone Vale: the Emerald Enclave, the Lord's Alliance, and the Order of the Gauntlet. These factions have been given permission to incentivize adventurers such as yourself of their own accord. Should you pledge your aid to one of these 3 groups and work to increase your standing, there will be rewards in it for you. To which faction do you wish to pledge your aid? I'll make sure your deeds are properly recorded for the faction of your choice. Be aware that these pledges are campaign agreements. They are not permanent allegiances, so you can change your pledge at any given time. If you desire to do so in the future, all you need to do is let me know. The Shield of the North has made great progress against the cult, but we must bolster these efforts. The factions have requested that their respective pledges venture out and assist them in exchange for increased rewards. Well, what are you waiting for, hero? Get out there and make a name for yourself.
The very idea of existing in multiple places at once is staggering. The implications, even more so. Let's get right to it, shall we? When we mobilized the Shield of the North, Harper Scouts observed a number of unusual devices that tap into a strange phenomenon called Dragon Sight. Naturally, I volunteered to research them on the Protector's behalf. Our findings have been fascinating, but traversing this terrain has been a challenge. Speaking of that, I have requested our smithy put together something special for you. Is there anything else you wish to discuss?
Harper Scouts found a number of strange devices scattered across the Vale that tap into something
Geisen Taraxia calls Dragon Sight.
These artifacts are clearly assembled from draconic remains, which we assume were taken from worm bone marrows. Anyone who touches one of these bizarre objects is able to see the location of hidden dragon treasure. That so-called Dragon Sight is the very phenomenon that I'm here to research. The look on your face says you don't believe me. Very well, I'll prove it to you then. Travel into the Vale, locate one of these artifacts, and touch it. A nearby treasure will be illuminated by Dragon Sight. Gather whatever you find, and bring it back to me.
Thanks to the Lord's Alliance, we have a number of skilled blacksmiths at our beck and call. Amongst the most talented is Sergeant Knox's personal smith, Patrick Pogstone, whom I've commissioned to build something special for you. The order should be ready by now, so make sure you speak with him before leaving the camp.
I see you've made your presence known to the crew overseeing operations here. Good! We have much to accomplish and precious little time to do so.
So many requisitions, so little time. That's my name. Who's asking? Wait a moment. You're the hero of Neverwinter. I knew Kavatos was hiding something. Forgive my excitement. I've heard countless tales of your exploits. I guess you could say I'm a fan. But that's enough rambling from me. Here's the grappling hook that Kavatos had me forge for you. I don't know what magic he imbued the materials with, but it's unlike anything I've crafted before. Tell you what, I left some tools out on top of that watchtower over there. Why don't you test the grappling hook out and grab them for me? You'll see what I'm talking about.